I am going to introduce our next speakers who have been patiently waiting. They know that we're in the flow, and I want to get right to them. So Pete and Roxy are multidimensional coaches, galactic consciousness teachers, intuitive healers, and galactic ambassadors, and are here to help elevate humanity and planet Earth into higher consciousness. Pete and Roxy connect with the Galactic Federation Starship, and in particular work with the Pleiadian High Council to help bridge the gap between this planet and galactic consciousness. With the help of high-frequency extraterrestrial beings and the divine source energy, we were able to open up even more healing technology aboard a Galactic Federation starship, and now continue to take people on journeys to the starship for self-healing, DNA activations, and frequency upgrades. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Welcome.
Hello.
Are you in Australia?
We are, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Did you catch most of what she was her presentation, Marguerite's presentation?
Yeah.
So good. Really, really good. Loved it.
Pete, you look like you're like, oh my gosh, that was a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was a lot. And to see the connection with Australia and how she wove everything in and brought it together. Well, I am so glad you were here. Thank you for your patience and being in your divine flow with us. And I'm going to turn it over to you so you can do an incredible presentation for our listeners.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. And it's crazy. The synchronicities are amazing because Roxy only recently just came back from Uluru doing a womb healing. Not long before that, we were on North Oak Island, which is linked to ancient Lemuria. And ourselves and a group, we all had activations and amazing connections there. And then within a month later, Roxy's in Uluru. She's doing this womb healing thing. She's called me, I've been crying all day. It's been so good, you know. And then here we hear the backstory, you know, before we get to speak, which is just so meant to be, you know.
I feel that too. And I take people to a place out here in California called Giant Rock. And Giant Rock, I met a man from Australia there, and he shared with me that he was somehow kind of a gatekeeper there at Uluru. And he told me a little bit about the history with the Aboriginal people and how this came to be. And I think there's a lot of us who are reconnecting with this idea that we can time travel through these portal places. We can actually travel through, you know, going to Uluru and connecting with different places on Earth, like Machu Picchu or, you know, Lake Titicaca or Egypt or Mount Shasta or Sedona. There's all these high energy vortex places that are really inviting us to come online and use the portals to do this work. And I really appreciate that you shared that the womb work is really important. So Roxy, thank you for doing that. And I'm going to turn it over to you for your presentation. And again, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to listening to what you have to share.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. So, yeah, we're Pete and Roxy from Australia, and a beautiful flow from the last presentation into our presentation being down here on the ground as fellow light warriors down here in this part of the world. So we'll start to share screen. So we've got a presentation. So we're going to just share the screen. And if anyone has any questions, we will open it up later mid-section for questions, of course, for you all. And we'll be doing a DNA activation today, a Stargate and DNA activation at the end. So you get to receive in this beautiful portal as well. So hang around for the end. We'll be doing that. Now what's happened here?
Oh. That's the chat.
Okay. So we'll play. Okay. So welcome to Galactic Consciousness with us. So we are Pete and Roxy, and we have two little boys, Xavier and Harley, and we live on the east coast of Australia near Brisbane. And we had our awakening a few years ago in 2019. We used to be insurance brokers, and we used to sell on Amazon, and we had full 3D life until we had our supercharged awakening. Basically, we had this full-on awakening together in 2019, right before the world shut down. And of course, we were looking for more. We knew there was something missing in our life, so we went on the quest to find that. And we did that by going over to Costa Rica in Rhythmia, a place called Rhythmia, and we went into an inner journey using ayahuasca, the plant medicine. And I'm sure some of you on this beautiful call today have done different plant medicines and different modalities, but this one was certainly one that we did, and it activated a whole lot of things for us very fast.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing when you've never really been around psychedelics of any sort. You're new to the whole inner healing journey, and you sign yourself up for 4 nights of ayahuasca. Well, talk about getting fired out of a cannon and dealing with all of your stuff very, very quickly. However, now looking back, we realize it was all for a purpose. And like a lot of you on this call, you've probably all your life had this feeling like perhaps you're not quite normal. You know what I mean? Like there just seems to be some sort of feeling or knowing within you that there must be more to life. There must be some sort of deeper mission or meaning to what you're doing. And it's like there's this calling. And what we've noticed over the last 3 or 4 years, particularly with the shift with the whole COVID thing, the war on consciousness, is that inner calling for a lot of people seems to be getting stronger. So for us, when we went to Costa Rica, it was certainly all about, first of all, dealing with our human journey and our emotional injuries and going within ourselves. So shown here is my father and my younger brother, Daniel, who went on this ayahuasca journey with us. And our family, talk about how you can sometimes come in a family of angels. Certainly on my side of the family, we can have these dinners and these wonderful discussions about the growth of the soul and etc. And like all things on earth, with perfect duality, we've got Roxy's side of the family, which are completely think we're crazy. They think that this is a whole lot of who knows what. They're worried for us. They'd probably contributed to giving us counseling if we needed it. However, it's like, guys, you know when you know. And for us, this awakening was awakening from the 3D matrix, awakening from this idea of the limited self and out of the slumber and breaking free to who we really were, right?
Yeah, so on the medicine shows you who you've become, okay? It plays a movie back to you of who you've become and where you split from your soul, okay? So a lot of light warriors come in, we sign a crazy contract for ourselves, and all to grow in this lifetime, all to evolve as a soul, grow, elevate, and basically have the awakening out of 3D matrix. And so the medicine shows us where we broke from our soul and we were able to merge back with our soul, and then heal our heart is another intention of one of the ceremonies. And of course, the heart healing, the heart is so deep, and you all know this on the healing journey, that it's just an infinite retracting of layers over and over and over into the depth of this heart and the infinite universe. So we came back to Australia, and pretty much COVID broke out and the world got shut down, and we doubled down into our souls even more back here in Australia. And, you know, we started to realize we were here to be of service, and that our contract was, you know, to deal with the galactic consciousness. And we thought we were just so out there and weird when we figured all this out. On the plane back from Costa Rica, the Pleiadians started talking to me in my meditations. We were both visited on the plant medicines by ETs as well, which was like really out there. Like, guys, we came from 3D. Like, we've only really been in this realm for 3 or 4 years, and we've learned so much of who we are and why we're here. And it's to help bridge the consciousness of the planet into the galactic consciousness.
Yeah, and of course, as you all know, the journey is a personal journey. So in that last slide where it's like get out of your head and into your heart, it's not about learning more information and knowing more things, right, that help us to ascend, but really what it is about learning to discover the divinity that's within. So getting out of the head, getting that mind out of the way, that idea, that construct that is all part of being human, getting that out of the way, learning to get into our heart and understanding who we really are. And behind that is, what are the lessons that we came here to learn? And if you're a light worker or a way shower or an old soul, you'll know that when you sign those soul contracts up the back, in that back section, there is some difficult stuff. I was going to swear, but there's some real crap there, right? There's some hard things that a lot of us have had to go through. And as you start to really work through those things, you see them as blessings, not curses. You realize that they are there as a theme for your life, for you to actually learn and understand. And once you can sort of accept them, become aware of them, and release the emotion, right, the density attached to that, you start to elevate, you start to live in that flow state, right? You hear of the alpha and the theta brain states. You live in that flow state. You live in the now moment. Eckhart Tolle talks about the power of now. You're in that present moment. Kindness, compassion, empathy, and understanding just naturally flow. You don't have to sit there about to sort of, you know, give someone the finger or toot your horn in the car because someone's cut you off. It doesn't even trigger you anymore. So you respond rather than react. And we've noticed all of those things starting to shift and change in our life the more we've connected in with these higher levels of consciousness. So yeah, we didn't want to do insurance anymore. We came back from Costa Rica and awakening education started, and we wanted to help people with their spiritual awakening initially. But Roxy more and more in her meditations was connecting in with the Pleiadians. And I was going, you're not going to tell anyone about this thing, man. Like, you can't actually tell our friends that you're connecting into ETs, that you're trying to go up and connect into this shit. They're going to think we're absolutely like nuts. And eventually it just got so strong that this connection just evolved, and we didn't really care what people thought anymore. It's like, if they don't like it, that's their thing. Because like Roxy, I think you could share, like for you, it was like something that just absolutely excited you to the point where, like, a couple of times a day, long, deep meditations at night, waking up in the morning, for those of you who can relate to that, feeling like all night long she'd been doing the work. She was exhausted, sometimes feeling like she was getting dropped back into the bed, so to speak, as her consciousness went back into the body. And I think share that about how it took a bit of time, like some tears of trying to work that out, right?
So like all of you with the first contact, it's like different and not normal, and you feel like you're going crazy, like Pete said. But for me, I didn't even realize that ETs existed. Like, we were very 3D. And so when I had the awakening, everything just started turning on and just like, it was really fast. So I'd get up in the middle of the night to go to the loo, and I'd be wondering if they would be outside, and, you know, all of those taking off those fears, those layers of emotion. And that's the key to all of this. That's the key to elevating, is doing that inner work, as we all know. And so the deeper healing I did, the higher I could access in frequency and match the vibration of these beings aboard a ship. So in one meditation, when I was introduced to the ship, they put like a rope down from the ship up in the sky. And in my meditation, I was climbing and curious and going up to the ship, and I could see it from the bottom level, from underneath. And I went up to the door with my light body. I traveled with my consciousness, my soul out of body up to the ship. And I opened the door, and the Pleiadian behind the door said, "No, you're not ready yet. Go back down and do more work." And I fell back down into my body and just burst into tears, because I had rejection, which was one of my emotional traumas that I had to heal before I could get back up there and really start to absorbing what I was about to move into, the work we were about to move into. And you know, that was pretty overwhelming to feel rejection, but it was a perfect trigger and perfect catalyst for me to go in and dig deeper into the healing, to figure out what the heck these Pleiadians were doing, why, and how I could learn more. And I was just like, this spark of addiction came in, and yeah, this is our Pleiadian connection. So little by little, we were shown around the ship, and the ship is the size of a football field. It's a huge ship with over 1,000 beings aboard. It has a lot of advanced technology on the ship. Pete now comes up to the ship, and we've got many healers that we teach to do this work and go to the ship with their supernatural abilities. And we have to raise our vibration, do the inner work to be able to reach these levels and that vibration. So the Pleiadians that we're connecting with, this is Eskil, our beautiful brother Eskil. He's 5th and 6th dimensional, so he can move his vibration up and down, so we can communicate with him. And so he was one of the first brothers that we started working with, alongside of a team of Pleiadians. So everyone, we want to introduce Vashta. She is an artist from Europe, and some of you might be familiar with her work, but we felt a calling to go and see if Vashta could do a channeling and an art work of the beings that we were connecting with, because we were so curious to see if they looked like what we were seeing and what she could bring through in the physical realm. And this is exactly what she brought through, and when she channeled it. So this is Eskil. He's a Pleiadian brother, and he is one of the guys that we connect with when we go up to the ship mostly, and we have a very good connection with him.
The energy of the Pleiadians is very dynamic. They're like your big brother, your big sister. They're trying to help you, guide you. Their energy is very much high school reunion, joking.
They're so
there's
funny.
A lot of fun. There's humor. Yeah. There's humor in it when we connect, and the knowings that flow and the guidance is really, really quite wonderful and noticeable, particularly if you can connect in with Arcturians as well, which often, as you get the connection with the Pleiadians going, then the Arcturians might be in and around that also. And theirs is more like grandmother, grandfather, unconditional love, this wisdom. You just want to fall into the arms of the like Arcturian, unconditional love, like everywhere. And the Pleiadians very dynamic, very much there wanting to help us heal so that we can become the best version of ourselves, shine our light. Very much the mission that they present through is that they are like the sky crew to us, the ground crew. We were once part of that high vibrational collective consciousness with them, and we're a fragment of them, many of us down here on the earth, doing the work, so to speak, but very much having that connection. And we've noticed that for a lot of people over the last 2 or 3 years, they are getting this same call of coming online. It's like they're getting activated. They're getting drawn to this sort of information. And for a lot of them, very much like ourselves, it's like you're led there by your higher self, your higher mind. And sometimes our logical mind, we're thinking, I don't actually know what the heck I'm doing here. However, it just feels so real and right.
So little by little, we started going to the ship, and then I started bringing Pete up to the ship, and he was seeing exactly what I was seeing. So the same rooms, the same helm, the same other side of the ship. The ship is massive, and we're really accessing only really one half of the ship. One day after a meditation, I came out and I drew the ship, and I'm going to share with you guys my first draft of the ship. Which is in the next slide. But I just wanted to mention, we are working with Commander Ashtar as well on the ship. We are on behalf of the Ashtar Command, which this ship originated in the Pleiades, and it's called the Pleiades. At the beginning, I thought it was called Galactic X, because when I was seeing it from the bottom up, underneath, it had a big X. And of course, X marks a spot. X is Christ consciousness. And little by little, it was given more to us. So on our YouTube channel, we do have a series of the unraveling of this disclosure, because Pete didn't really want to share this publicly at all until we actually had physical contact with Pleiadians. And he was like, this is not going anywhere. And I'm like, it's all right. Just film like a diary entry. So we've got some track record of the story of this connection, because it was so different. And the Pleiadians kept telling us, record this. This is to be to showcase your connection with us. That's the mission for now. And then we'll keep supporting you. So they said, as soon as you post this on YouTube, you will be supported. And we have grown our YouTube channel, and it's all flowing correctly.
And of course, every time I went up and connected more and more, they showed me the emotional injuries underneath and around why I didn't want to make it public anyway, right? Because still within me were emotional injuries of being accepted, with rejection, things around when I was a young boy and the difficulties, just of growing up, and some major events where I split from my soul around the ages of 5, all tied in with around rejection, not being important, being an outcast, all of that sort of thing. So of course, when I'm up and around that energy and moving up and tapping into that 5D, the level of wisdom, I was seeing the pattern that was within my life. And of course, crying it out, journaling it out, through breath work, clearing it out. And all of a sudden, those emotional injuries of caring what other people thought were cleared. But, for those of you who know that inner work, it takes time. So it was a process. But let's share with them. This is the original. Roxy came out of the meditation and she just sat down. She goes, I've got to draw this. And we could have got it made up into a beautiful graphic for you all and made it look high tech. But I wanted to show you, I thought, the raw drawing of what came from it when you first did it, right, Rox?
So there's two parts of the ship, and it is a figure of 8, okay? So at the beginning, I was only getting shown the right side of the ship, and I would be coming in. Can I use my mouse here? No. So I would be coming into the right here on the bottom right of the portal, and it would be showing me the inside of the ship, the hologram. So it's a galactic map, and all around the hologram were seats, and everything's curved, nothing's angles, everything's like not put together with anything. It's all curved and molded, and just this different energy. So physically, we were traveling and going and getting taught about the hologram, the galactic map, how the control helm works. And it works very interestingly. This is a mothership, and it's stationed off the planet at this point. And there are 4 levels that we've been shown at this stage. It is larger. However, they said our consciousness isn't ready to go into the other levels of the ship at this point. And that's okay. So the first level is a sub level where the kind of energy systems are to run the ship. And also the sub ships are parked down there, which I've been down there and I've seen 20, 30 sub ships down underneath, which they use for missions around the world and this solar system at this time. On the second level is the level that I would go to. And at the beginning, they showed me how we would travel. My family, Pete, me and the kids, how we would travel in the human pods on the right-hand side. And I don't know if anyone remembers the the ride at the show called the Graviton, where it is a UFO ride looking, and it spins around and you get stuck on the wall at the on the wall. A carnival, yeah, sorry, Aussie terms. Anyway, so they said to me that we would be placed in these human travel pods so the body would be safe through travel, interdimensionally travel. And it showed me so much detail of that. And so at the beginning, that was only where I would go. And then slowly, Esker would show me around the ship. And on the top right here is the vibration room. So there's med beds, plasma med beds. And when they first showed me this, I was like, aren't they a cheap way to heal? And of course, the planet in 3D had a lot of talk about med beds and the technology, and that it was all going to be free and all of this stuff. And so I was really like, what is this? This doesn't make sense. And I was a bit defensive about the plasma beds up here. And they told me, no, it's a frequency elevator, but you have to look at the emotional injury in order to clear the density. So now we take people to the ship in the plasma beds. And there's also a pod, a gel plasma pod that they get put into. There's also a whole lot of other technology, which we don't have time to go into today, which they've shown me and we're using. But the plasma bed we stick them in there, the frequency charged by the galactic consciousness and the galactic solar winds charges the plasma to bring the frequency in. And because we're in a higher frequency, the cells and the organs and the energy centers can be kind of charged, and we can see into the person's body where the density is. And with the Pleiadians and their higher self, the person's higher self, we all communicate and we bring the energy and the message down to the human person to understand where the root cause of their emotional injury is, right? So the whole point is to connect to the emotion first, and then the frequency will help shift energy. They're not doing the work for us. We have to do the work. But this is a tool, like we have tools like plant medicine, breath work, maybe mushroom journeys. They're tools. You don't use them forever. They're tools to get you to a higher frequency to help teach and heal your consciousness. So Pete also used to come in from the top way. So he would see this vibration room and he'd be seeing it from the opposite angle to me. And I'm like, you're in the same room. It just didn't make sense. But he was entering the ship from another angle, and you would describe it as a different way in. So it was really interesting. And now we teach people to go up here and use this and they all see the same thing that we see when they go up here. It's incredible. There's also a surgery room, which I've been in for major surgery when they recalibrated my brain. I had some issues in my brain, and they've actually, like a Rubik's cube, reset my brain in the surgery room. There's a lab which reads DNA, so we'll bring through DNA and we can project it onto a special through a special technology to show the light history of the person. So through the DNA and through the cellular structure of the person, the advanced technology can read like a timeline. It's like it plays a movie of the person's history on the kind of technology, which is really profound.
There's a lot we could go into, but the physical body is definitely a representation of our energetic body. So our false beliefs, our emotional injuries, and even to a certain extent, some of our karmic entanglements and our distorted DNA can all get shown and be brought through when you're connecting into these higher levels of consciousness, and they get shown to us so that we can have the opportunity to clear that density. And as we do it, the vibration goes up. And I really want to make this clear. Every single person has the ability to be able to tap into and access this energy. And after a while, the more you do it, the more the relationship and the connection grows and gets strong. And with the Pleiadians and the Arcturians in particular, but you know, the Andromedans, the Sirians, so many of these different beings, the more you're up and around with them, you learn the different energies and when they're coming through.
Yeah.
And depending on the person and the individual, the connection can be really, really beautiful.
So just to make it clear, this is it's originated from the Pleiades, but there's intergalactic extraterrestrials visiting. So we do work with the Arcturians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, and a whole lot of other beings that come into the ship for us to meet. And it is connected to the Galactic Federation, the Ashtar Command. So we've just gone over that.
So we've gone through, you know, all of those different things that, you know, can happen both for ourselves. In fact, it started with Roxy just doing this herself, being guided by the Pleiadians. Then she took me to the ship. And then my father said, oh, wow, that sounds good. Take me. And our sister-in-law had a little boy who had ADD and trouble going on at school. And Roxy did a session on him, and everyone all of a sudden noticed an amazing difference in this little boy's just whole behavior and energy and etc. And it just got shared. This all sort of just happened by accident. She shared it briefly on Instagram, and a random guy goes, I'd love a session, Roxy. And she was like, I don't know whether to do this. And, you know, that's how it all sort of started, from one thing to another, going up and working on different aspects of, whether you call it spiritual balancing, whether you call it accessing your higher mind and being able to release the densities, identify what your false beliefs are. Certainly what happens though is you start to integrate more of the different aspects of yourself. You know, as our soul splits and comes into this human form, these different aspects of our multidimensional self start to integrate as we heal. And that's the bits at the moment that we're just super, super excited to talk about, because we're on this timeline towards ascension.
Yeah. So these are like some images that are in 3D that kind of look like what we see in the ship. And yeah. So we are also accessing another ship, another Pleiadian contact. This is Yegi, and he comes from the starship called the Kara, and it's situated over the US at this time, and it was built underground in New Mexico with a group of humans, human people, and also the Pleiadians that have come in to help bridge the gap between humanity and the galactic. Okay, so it is a slow working ship. We are connecting just at the back at this stage. Yegi came through, who is a beautiful Pleiadian brother. He looks very humanoid as well. And Vashtar, our artist friend from Europe, has also brought him through. Because I asked her, I said, there's this other ship now and and so he has really amazing supernatural abilities. So he is a communicator. So he could have like 5 different language speaking people in a circle, and with his energy he can share all of the same communication frequency, so everyone can understand each other. Okay, so did I share that right? Yeah. So that's his supernatural ability. So he's awesome. I've been able to channel him a couple of times and connect in with him. I haven't explored the ship, the Kara, but I've had profound dreams of being on the ship. And it's like 50 levels. It's like bright. And the purpose of the ship is to eventually bring humans to the ship so they can become familiar with this consciousness, okay, and feel safe, because there's a board of humans, Pleiadians that look like us. It's not scary, and it's like bringing and bridging that gap for humanity, which is really cool. So here are beautiful images that Vashtar has completed, and we just thought we'd share them because Pleiadians do, as we all know, come in all shapes and colors and forms. And here are a few that we love ourselves. Our beautiful blue being brother in the middle. He's a Pleiadian. So these are all Pleiadians. And, they really could be walking down the street and you wouldn't really know. Well, apart from the blue one. And the one on the right is a Pleiadian hybrid. Okay, so there's another thing that we also know about, which is the hybrid program, but we'll just stay with this flow today.
The hybrid children are interesting though, as well.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so now we're going to move into levels of consciousness and our rate of vibration, which is really important to be able to access the ship, okay? So, before we had our awakening, there was no way our frequency could even get up there. And we all know it's all about raising your vibration.
So David Hawkins famously talked about this scale of consciousness, and the scale of consciousness ties in with our brain rhythms. And for those of, a lot of you would be familiar with alpha, theta, delta, beta, and of course the gamma brain state. And most people spend 90% of their day in that beta, depending on whether you're Australian or American, level of the brain, right? And it's the level of logical thinking and understanding and planning and awareness, but it's also the level of negative thinking and fears and worries and sabotage thinking. And we can be scattered and tend to overthink things in our day-to-day life, and we get stuck in beta. So when you're meditating, you're slowing your brain rhythms down, and you're actually able to, for periods of time, access alpha, theta brain states, or you do it by accident when you're doing something you love, your yoga, your music, your art, you're walking in nature, and you lose all track of time. You've gone into those alpha and those theta states. However, in the background is the scale of consciousness. And the scale of consciousness has reached this pivotal point this is the work of Dr. David Hawkins. It reached a pivotal point in the 1980s where humanity as a collective, we went over the level of 200 as a collective. So that critical number of 200. So the humanity as a collective basically went from being more negative to more positive around that time in the 1980s. And from that point forward, it was technically a whole lot easier for people to be able to connect into higher levels of consciousness, because as a collective, we had risen our consciousness significantly. However, like everything, the rate of vibration, the rate that us as a collective vibrates is improving and increasing even over so much over, I would notice, in the last 6 to 12 months. And this is quite significant, because this is why more people are awakening. This is what the Great Awakening is all about, that you hear about. This is why more and more there is this war on consciousness, because there are a lot of, let's call them energies, forces, people, whatever it may be, who don't necessarily want us all to become awake. They don't want us to move into 4D and further on to 5D consciousness, because then when we're awake and we can see things for what they really are, we're a whole lot more difficult to be able to control. So these lower levels get pumped to us through the mainstream media, through social media, and let's just go with fear and shame and the idea of the limited self constantly being projected to us through the television screens, through our social media, trying to hold us in a lower level of consciousness. However, and of course you guys would know this because I'm talking to the right crowd here, we are like the energy beacons that are pulling up those lower levels of density, because the higher you go up on this scale of consciousness, and the level of 500 is the key. If you get to 500 in your lifetime, Ra, from the law of one, right, the collective consciousness of the planet Venus, says that we graduate as a soul. We move into this next level of our soul's growth if we can calibrate at that level of 500, the level of love. So I mentioned moving out of your head and getting into your heart. That's what we're talking about there. Guys, I love the saying, the rising tide lifts all of the boats. So as you and I, right, as the light workers, the way showers, as we do the work on ourselves, and we meditate and we connect. And we, in our day-to-day, when we're at the grocery store, when we're putting fuel in our car, when we're dealing with people in our day-to-day life, when we shine our light, look at the high levels up around 500. In other words, when you're in a good mood and you're happy and you're joyful and you have enthusiasm and an open, happy heart, behind the scenes, that has massive ripple effects. That is the rising tide lifting the boats of all those people down there in fear, frustration, shame. They're scared. They're putting on their masks and they're lining up to get their who knows what, and we won't go into that too much. But when they're in that state, we're helping to lift them through what we do. And behind that all is this scale of consciousness. So while we are doing the work ourselves as individuals, the planet's helping us as well, right, Rox?
That's right, Pete. So, yeah, this is just an idea of where we're going in 5D. And the higher we rise into the fourth and fifth dimension, the more we can connect with the ship and other dimensional beings, okay? Because the heart portal is open. We're not coming from ego in the brain trying to get there before we've done the inner work. And the wisdom is given to the people that have done the inner work, okay? So that's why raising your vibration is just the most important thing. So we're moving from 3D to 5D, but how does the planet, like Pete said, shift? And that is what we call the Schumann resonance, which you all probably are very aware of. And we're going through quite a shift at the moment because the energy has been spiking to what we call an M1. So the scientists do rate the solar flares coming off the sun. So the solar flares coming off the sun, normally there's about 10 a year. This year, there was a prediction of about 100. So we've all been feeling it. June was one of the heaviest times, and the highest I've seen the Schumann resonance was at 87 in June 30. I believe that was on one of the equinoxes. So the planet vibrates at 7.82 hertz. When you move into the mountains or nature, you're up around a hertz of 13 hertz, 13.82, I believe. So the idea of, moving into nature, moving and being around planet and Pachamama in the vibration of that and out of the cities is key for your ascension and how you can raise your vibration. And last year we got moved to 10 acres with no internet access, no signal for the phone. And we were thinking, okay, we see what's going on here. There's massive portal, which we've been connecting through to higher vibrational beings and ships. And, we were divinely moved. So listen to those synchronicities if you're getting called out of the city, because it's probably to help your awakening and ascension healing journey.
So to help you guys kind of understand it, it is like, this is why so many people now are channeling high vibrational beings. This is why a lot of people who you would have thought would never wake up are all of a sudden starting to question things or to wake up, or why within yourself you are either starting to uncover or look at things as totally being the observer, or you're noticing your awareness is going up, or even like for myself, things that I thought I'd worked on years ago are coming up again. Have you had that feeling within yourself? I'd love you to let me know if you've had things in your life where you thought, I thought I'd worked on this crap. What's this happening again for? And because you've changed, you're starting to see it from a new perspective. So to summarize, consciousness is going up, but the universe or the galactic energy is helping us as well. The solar flares, the Schumann resonance, all of it together helping to bring our vibration up, because guys, the energy consciousness, it's live, it's a being. So it's not static and just old and ancient and sacred and just staying the same. It is growing and evolving as a live thing as well. And we can tap into that. And we find this very, very exciting, because what this means is terms like having a supercharged awakening or a spontaneous awakening, or people have this feeling of like a remembering. It's like they're hearing information or they're watching something online, and it's almost like you hear it in your heart rather than in your ear. You know, it just seems so familiar to you. It's the energy supporting us. And even just this week, what did we have? An M1?
M1 just overnight, actually. So the solar flares are rated. So the scientists are rating them. So when they come in, they're allocated a letter. All right. So A being low, B small, C medium, M strong. X is the most powerful and it's very major. X, remember, is Christ consciousness. X marks the spot. So side to that, they give it a number, a numeric value. Okay, so just overnight, we had an M1 rating, right? So if you've been feeling this is powerful. It's a powerful time that we're shifting into December and into the new year. Okay, so these are solar flares coming off the galactic sun and coming into our solar system to raise the vibration of not only our planet, but all the planets in our solar system, because we need to all work together in symphony again. Our energies, we used to share this in Atlantis, and we used to, move the energy between the consciousness of every single planet in this solar system, and then work in harmony with the Pleiades, the Sirian system. And we used to all share energy. And so all eyes are on this planet right now, and you're on the ground doing the inner work to help this planet raise and then rejoin in the galactic consciousness again. So ascension symptoms, I think I was a little bit tired the last 3 days, and with this solar flare coming in, we've had a lot of these symptoms. So if you're feeling like you're having hot flushes, or you're just frustrated, emotional, blurred vision, or dizzy, these are all symptoms of the solar flare and the vibration increasing, because the cellular structure is being kind of released. Anything dense in your cellular structure, your organs, your energy centers, is being released for new light energy to come into your field. And you're going to be just like this walking light body soon, which will be exciting.
And those ascension symptoms, we have this group, right, of light workers, and we all share and support one another, and etc. And a lot of people talk about these ascension symptoms here. Like I noticed the itchy skin one was coming up recently for people. But there's a lot of positive things as well. Like for myself, I'm just noticing more and more that I'm seeing patterns in everything. And like the synchronicity, like you guys, you would know if you're glancing at the clock and it's 4:11, or even better, 11:11, or whatever it may be, like number sequences, seeing like rainbows or fractals off the side of light, or even to the point where you find, like if you're driving to the grocery store, you get that parking spot right at the front that you want, or you have to choose 3 lines in the bank, and of course you choose the quick one and it just all flows. Or you're after something and you pick up that last mango on the shelf that's just yours and it's perfectly there, or just everything just seems to flow. And I've found for myself that a lot of these ascension symptoms, while you can have some of these, talk about hot flushes and running hot, which seems to be strange, I also notice a lot of positive things as well, which I just wanted to mention.
So how do we prepare for ascension? So we see our body as a 4-part being, okay? Spiritual, mental, emotional, and then the physical vessel, the vehicle for this lifetime. So we have to look at it like a jet engine, a plane getting off the ground, having all of the engines working and running well in order to ascend and to connect to galactic consciousness. Okay, so looking at these 4-part beings, it's like, all right, give yourself a rating out of 10. How do you score? Like, do you talk nicely to yourself? Do you doubt yourself? Are you looping in old stories? How are you emotionally? Are you saying, okay, what is this trying to show me, this negative or positive situation? Going into the emotion, if there's anything there to be cleared. Physically, are you eating well? Are you drinking 2 to 3 liters a day and flushing your cellular structure, preparing for ascension? Okay. Are you stopping and meditating daily and being in alignment and listening to the energy, like turning the radio off? So 4-part being, looking at all 4 parts in order to ascend and raise your vibration.
Yeah. What I've noticed a lot in session, guys, and I would imagine it would apply to you, all of you watching, if you're on this, this would apply. You're a very strong soul. I know if I tuned into you, you would have a strong soul. You would have a beautiful violet flame. It would have a richness and a depth to it. And that connect, like your awakening process, I'm sure, would be something which is very emotionally engaging and connected rather than just intellectually interesting. Okay. So the spiritual aspect of your being would be very, very strong. And what is hampering that connection, and I'll say that, what holds us back is our mental, our emotional, or our physical density or imperfections, where we're not in ease, which they call dis-ease, but it may be mentally, which is like we have so many self-sabotage underlying false beliefs in there that if we can just identify, we can help to release them. But we think that those false beliefs serve us. We think that sometimes it's safer to not just love someone wholeheartedly, because probably younger on, you know, we lived in an environment where emotions weren't shared by our parents because they were unhealed, or there was conditional love. It was like, do this or else. And we've grown up with that. And sometimes it can be a lot easier for us to be loving to our child or our dog or our cat or our someone else, right, than it is to receive love or to love ourselves, of course. So that can be all tied in there. And then, of course, the emotional injuries are intertwined. Then physically, we can, of course, have just those imperfections within our physical vessel, which can hold us back. But also in the bigger picture, because we're a multi-dimensional being, there can be other things that can be inhibiting our vibration. And that's what we're going to be sharing with you and giving to you as a gift at the end of this today, an experience on untangling some of the stuff that may not even be yours, might be past life stuff. There might be like DNA entanglements or karmic entanglements with others around us that we can help to clear, right, through a Stargate activation.
That's right. So Stargate activation, the Pleiades call our energy centers Stargates. And in the galactic, that's a common term, your Stargates. And we do have many Stargates. But today we'll be accessing the 7 Stargates and activating the Stargate. So we've all had galactic travels. A lot of us here, we've all old wise souls and been around the star systems, having beautiful experiences and growing as a soul. And so when we are ascending, we have to bring all of our parts back together. So firstly, working on the healing, the emotion, the 4-part being that we just spoke about. And then, you know, some of the significant past lives coming in, and then the galactic, some of the significant galactic lifetimes coming in. And so this Stargate activation is actually going to help bring through the galactic lifetimes and merge them all back together. So when we do that, we then, of course, merging back with our soul family on the planet, and then our star family, and then our oversoul family. Okay, that's the kind of the points moving up through ascension. So the way we do this is we start at the base gate, and we're using our vibration. That's the key to unlocking your Stargate. So your vibration.
May I just say, while I talk on synchronicities, 33 in the chat, 44 participants, and 55 on the phone when we move to the Stargates. Guys, I'll just talk about seeing patterns everywhere. Sorry to interrupt you. But it's like I get tingles when we move into like this sort of information, because I could just feel already the excitement of doing this together as a group. Like it fully has a ripple effect. So I'm just letting you know, like this is going to be really, really powerful as we move through this. So Roxy, continue. Sorry.
Your vibration is the key to unlocking. So you have the key to your Stargates. Okay, no one else can do this work for you. Your vibration will match the Stargate to unlock it. So I will be guiding you, and you would repeat it in where you are by yourself and out loud though. So remembering that you're all on mute, so no one can hear each other. I will be guiding this session, this activation. We do want you to lay down and get really comfortable. Everyone loves a good meditation and activation. So hopefully we do have enough time.
But off speaker view just so we can read.
Have enough time for this, Michelle.
How are we looking?
This is just
Yes,
wanted to-
go ahead. Definitely.
We've got enough time for this. Everyone
Yes.
good
Yes.
to go?
Mhm.
I just didn't know if we were over time or not. It's an hour, but I think this will be about half an hour, guys. So if anyone has to run off, that is just go for it. And you can, I guess, Michelle, watch the recording and listen to the meditation and the activation after.
I can already feel the energy of this group.
Yeah.
This is going to be beautiful. It's going to be really, really powerful. So we feel excited to be doing this with you guys today. Let's go for it. Hey?
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Oh, do you need to pee? Okay, Roxy.
I'll hold
Yes. No, why don't you just go?
I'll go quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go run.
All right. I need to just take a
She
little
needs to
pee
pee.
break and then I'll be more relaxed and in the flow. So if everyone wants to have a pee break and then we'll be back
2
in
minutes,
5.
it's right there.
Or do you want to just
Fine. Yeah, I'll be staying here.
go? 2 minutes.
Guys,
I love that she needed a pee break. I was texting with Neil. I've been riveted to this entire day. I have not moved. I have not eaten. I have been, you can tell I turned my camera around because it got dark where I live. And this is my bathroom. I have a really big bathroom and it's become like my office. So I turned the camera around to the back wall because everything, all the mirrors were all lighting up. But this has been such an incredibly uplifting day. And there have been so many transmissions coming through each one of our presenters. And I love that you're the tail end. I don't know if you saw what Bridget was writing, because Bridget was writing in the chat. And I think she was writing to the panelists and hosts only. I don't know if Bridget realized she didn't have it on everyone or if she did that intentionally, but she wanted to know which ships you go on. And I had been taking notes. So I remembered one of the ships that Yeti was on was it the Kara?
yes, correct.
So I texted that back to her, but she was just wanting to know, if she could go up there too. So
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, definitely connecting us all with a lot of information that's much needed on the planet right now. And I have a big chair that swivels in here, and I'm gonna get comfortable too and do the whole thing with you.
Oh, guys, because we've all been up there together before already. We're all connected. It's like we find one another. Once I was up in a session, and because guys, for those of you watching, we all experience things differently, right, in our meditative state. So if you're not a visual person, you're probably a person who gets knowings or feelings or things just drop in like thoughts, which is how it comes for me a lot of the time. I'm very much a feeling person rather than the visuals, which is a really beautiful balance to Roxy, because she will see all this detail, sometimes hear clicking in her brain as they're doing things, or, get shivers up her spine or tingles, etc. It's the energy comes through us all differently. So if you don't see anything, guys, when you're doing the exercise, but you're getting these feelings or warm or a cool wave move over you, or even this sense, often emotionally, of things leaving, that's the energy sort of coming through. And I read the images. One of the questions from Krista was, where do the images come from? Well, Vashtar, who we found by chance, Michelle, just from watching Gaia. And of course, she must get so many people connect to her. But Roxy just sent an email and sent it at just the right time that she got it, because of European and Australian, whatever. We're at the top. And anyway, we've kind of become friends. And it is it doesn't make sense. And you know what this journey is like. I can't logically go, this is how it worked, but somehow we just connected at the right time. It was meant to be. And she just loves tuning into any of the different beings that Roxy asks for. So, Krista, that's where those images came from.
Yeah. And it's like Christmas, you don't get excited about material things anymore.
Oh,
I get excited about seeing an artwork of a galactic guide I've been working with, like that just is like, oh my God. And I love that.
I love that. And I wrote her name down too, because
Yeah.
the artists that do see and can bring through these images, I think help people identify with what they're feeling. Because I'm a total feeler. I feel it. I start crying when the feelings come in, but I don't always see it visually. And there have been some times where I've connected and I've been like, certain beings I might see that might be scary, you know, like the praying mantis beings. And I'm like, I know you're there, but sometimes I think I'm afraid of you, you know, because of I don't know, the insect part of it. I don't know what it is, but I can feel them. I feel the loving presence. So this helps us connect with who you're connecting with and bringing through. But I want to let you get to it, because I do think Neil has dinner plans tonight. So I want to make sure that we can get through this. Okay, so I'm ready, and I'm going to turn my camera off and turn it back over to you.
Yeah.
We'll turn ours down as well.
Yeah, we'll see you at the end. Okay, so everyone getting ready, getting comfortable in your spot there at home, and laying down, closing your eyes, feeling into your body consciousness, turning your gaze inwards, moving your way down into your body consciousness, down into the heart, bringing some love energy into your vessel at this time. We're going to breathe through the nose, down into the stomach, and then exhale out of the mouth. This is going to slow the brain rhythms and nerves, the nervous system, and bring us into a heart-brain coherent state. So we're going to do 3 rounds of this. So breathing in through the nose now and letting go. Breathing in again, slowly and deeply through the nose and letting go. And again through the nose and letting go. Letting everything go, returning to your natural resting breath. Feeling your way down into your body, opening up the heart. I want you to visualize a beautiful flower on your chest. This flower represents you, your soul, your beautiful, beautiful essence. Tuning into this flower, feeling into the flower, seeing how delicate it is, how beautiful it is. Choosing a color for the flower and seeing it open and blooming to this activation today. I want you to send love to the flower, fertilizing it and watering it with your love, saying, I love you. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. Acknowledging your soul in this moment. Good. And now we're going to open a portal of love amongst all of us here today, connecting all of our higher selves together so this session's more powerful, more potent, more divine. So we're going to call upon the higher selves of all of the souls here today. I'm going to call upon my higher self, Roxanne, and we call through the divine source energy, the creator of all. We also call through the Ascended Masters, the Archangels, and the Galactic Team, the Pleiadian High Council, and the Ashtar Command. And we ask for your guidance, your protection, your love, your elevation of consciousness for the highest and the greatest good of all here today. Wonderful. So tuning in now, realizing that we're all interlinked across this beautiful globe. We're connected to the galactic team as well, and our guides. You're also safeguarded by our guides to open up and freely disconnect and unlock DNA in your stargates. So firstly, tuning into your first stargate at the base of your body, feeling into what this base feels like, this stargate. Taking a deep breath to connect in with it, feeling what it feels like, connecting in and repeating after me. I untangle and I activate my DNA in my first Stargate. And waiting and seeing and feeling this gate opening, seeing what comes out, feeling the DNA untangle out of this first Stargate, feeling the energy being released from your galactic journeys, unlocking and realigning, feeling into what your higher self wants you to see today. Watching it unravel as the energy is released out of this first Stargate. Tuning into your DNA and seeing it, what the condition is, what it feels like. Maybe you're getting downloads of soul memories in the galactic. Allow yourself to observe this opening, this activation. Good. And now moving to our second Stargate. This is the sacral, the orange energy center in human form. Tuning into this second Stargate, feeling into it. What does it feel like to you? Does it feel tight, strong, heavy, light? Feeling what the Stargate feels like. Is it ready to burst open and receive? Good. Tuning into the second Stargate and now repeating after me. I untangle and I activate my DNA in my second Stargate. Watching this Stargate open and untangle lifetimes of energy, unlocking the DNA. Feeling into this energy center, the release of emotional trauma, perhaps, or perhaps activating your creation, your supernatural abilities, turning on your manifestation, your relationships, your closeness. Watch what unravels for you in this Stargate. Being the observer of what's unraveling, what knowings are coming to you, feeling the energy as it unravels and aligns once again. Beautiful. And feeling into your body, into the third Stargate now. Feeling into this beautiful, powerful Stargate known as your solar plexus, the yellow energy center. Feeling into this Stargate, getting your senses turning on, feeling it. Does it feel hard? Does it feel ready to go forward on your path? Feeling into this beautiful Stargate, the third Stargate. This is the one that carried you through the galactic, traveling interdimensionally with all of those beautiful supernatural abilities turned on. Carries the courage, the confidence, the strength. Breathing into this now and repeating after me. I untangle and I activate my DNA in my third Stargate. Watching the lid open of this Stargate. Perhaps lots of energies released out of this, coming soaring out. Watching the DNA untangle, it's activating as you acknowledge it, acknowledging the strength of your DNA that you carry in this human vessel, this lifetime, preparing you for ascension, preparing you to raise your vibration, to bridge the gap with Galactic. Allowing that DNA to be released, watching it unravel, smiling at it as it moves out and frees itself, unlocking your true potential. Good. You're doing so well. I can see lots activating on this quantum field level that I've seeing through on the planet here. A lot of light beacons activating. Oh, I love it. Beautiful. I'm just waiting for a couple more to unlock. Good. Okay, we're going to proceed now up to the fourth Stargate. So tuning into your heart center, your beautiful green energy center, your fourth Stargate. This beautiful, beautiful, powerful and potent love Stargate. Tuning into the softness, the delicacy perhaps. Maybe it feels hard and closed, your Stargate. Ask your higher self to show you the condition of it at this stage before you unlock it. Good. Feeling it. Relaxing and breathing, connecting to your breath and repeating after me. I untangle and I activate my DNA in my fourth Stargate. And watching it open, releasing this energy coming out through your heart. Lifetimes of love experiences. Lifetime of beautiful experiences across the galactic. Unlocking this DNA, unraveling it, allowing it, giving it the right to release and activate today with your intention and your key, your vibrational state, your signature. Watching it as unravels, feeling it express out of the chest. Perhaps you're feeling it out the back of your shoulder blades as well. If you're receiving objects, seeing objects coming out, that's okay. Allow them to move through you. Let them flow out, giving them permission to release, letting them know it's safe. Feeling into any galactic lifetimes that might be popping through, perhaps one with the Pleiades, maybe seeing some Pleiadian soul family and star family showing up in your peripheral, seeing them and thanking them for being of service here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a lot of Pleiadian presence here. Beautiful. And seeing that DNA now completed and continually after this session to unravel with your permission. We're going to move our awareness, our energy over to the next Stargate, the fifth Stargate. This is the throat. The beautiful blue energy center. Powerful, fluid energy center. We want to unlock this one to allow wisdom to flow through us, our knowing to come through and activate the souls on this planet to help teach and guide and hold space for others. Taking a deep breath and feeling into this energy center, the fifth Stargate. How does it feel to you? Does it feel closed? Does it feel open, fluid and flowing already? Does it feel hard? Does it feel magical? The beautiful throat, the Stargate number 5. Breathing into it and repeating after me and stating your intention. I untangle and I activate my DNA in my 5th Stargate. Watching it unravel, open to this divine moment, this beautiful, special moment we share together as you activate and elevate, seeing the DNA unravel out of this Stargate. The wisdom, the light packets of galactic knowledge and wisdom coming through from the Pleiadian Star Center. Tuning into this beautiful vibration, the expression of self, the expression of love in vibrational terms, allowing and unlocking this energy center, this Stargate. Good. Feeling it move through you, opening and loosening as we move up to the next Stargate, the 6th Stargate, the pineal gland, the third eye, the purple color in this energy center you can tune into. Feel into this Stargate, looking at it. How does it present to you? Is it a Stargate? Is it a portal? What does it look like? Feel into this beautiful Stargate. The 6th Stargate. Tuning into it now, breathing into it and declaring with your intention in your heart and repeating after me. I untangle and I activate my DNA in my 6th Stargate. Watching it open, feeling free, feeling in sync with the universal wisdom, sacred knowledge, the high realms. That soul remembering the DNA activating out of this Stargate, giving it the right, the permission to unlock and bring through galactic knowledge and wisdom that you know. The remembering of this energy is all in you. The beautiful wisdom. Breathing into it, letting it flow out of your 6th Stargate. Watching it as it releases. Feeling any emotions that want to pass through you. Any false beliefs out of the brain, the mental construct that's been holding you back. Allowing them to release with this, helping yourself, guiding yourself through the emotion if you do, surrendering and letting it go with your breath. Finding that center. Lots of online light codes are coming into that Stargate. I can see lots and lots. So potent. Okay, now we're going to bring our awareness up to the 7th Stargate, the crown, the antenna to the universe. Breathing into it, feeling this Stargate. How does it feel to you? Does it feel beautiful, loose, open, wide, willing to learn? Fully connected, opening up this Stargate now, breathing into this and declaring and activating it. Repeating after me. I untangle and I activate my DNA in my 7th Stargate. Watching this Stargate open and unravel, feeling that connectedness to the universe, the beautiful divine, the one, unlocking the DNA, allowing yourself to reconnect with your soul family, your star family, even your oversoul family, dusting off the DNA of your galactic experiences, unlocking your full potential, that high flow energy through the crown, through the 7th Stargate, that connected to source, allowing that to unravel. A lot of you are already unraveled. Not too much to receive and release out of there. I can see that a lot of you are open already, and a lot of you are feeling happy and at peace. I can see. Beautiful. We're now going to ask our Pleiadian brothers and sisters from the Pleiades starship today to come down and visit each and every one of you in your field on this planet for a moment. They're going to come down and hand you a beautiful gift through the quantum. You can, of course, not receive if you don't want to do this. You have free will. So setting the intention to ask the Pleiadian guide to step forward. Perhaps it's a star family, a soul member family that wants to visit you, that's probably maybe already in your field now. Setting the intention to thank them for the work that they've been doing and helping humanity and yourself. Thanking them from your heart to their heart. Thank you. Thank you, the beautiful Pleiadians. We love you. Thank you for being the Sky Crew. Thank you for hearing our call. Thank you for teaching us and being the big brothers and sisters. And with that love energy, the exchange of a gift will be presenting in front of you here today. Opening up your heart to receive a gift. Feeling this gift, perhaps even seeing this gift being handed to you. Taking a moment now to receive and identify what this little gift is for you. Beautiful. Just taking another moment to give you all some time to receive. Remembering their humor, their funniness. Certainly the joy of that vibrational state, that scale of consciousness state. Feeling that joy and fun of love. Beautiful. So the Pleiadians will now move out of your awareness as you come back to your body, coming back into the heart, the body consciousness, thanking the Pleiadians, thanking the universal code, the energy, the magic, the synchronicities, the love, and also thanking each and every one of you here today for opening your heart and growing as a soul, saying yes to the mission. And also now just anchoring ourselves back into the planet. So imagining and visualizing a golden cord coming down the back of your spine, going down the bottom of the tail of the spine, going down through the bed or the seat that you're sitting and laying in, going down, down, down through the core of the planet, through the layers into the center of Pachamama, planet Earth, seeing this golden cord, anchoring yourself in anti-clockwise, wrapping yourself into the core 3 times anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3. And just taking a deep breath and feeling that connectedness in this dimension, this beautiful experience, bringing your awareness back to your physical body in this dimension, moving your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling into this room again. Taking a deep breath to merge the light body and the soul back together. And when you feel ready, you can come back to the screen. If you're still going through a process, please remain where you are. Be gentle on yourself.
What an amazing experience. I was so present to it, and I was sitting here just feeling all the feelings, and with each activation different sensations were coming through, and I heard the wind really strongly in my backyard, and the little chimes went off. And then the next thing I felt were my lips were tingling. Like my lips are still tingling right now. And just, wow, just feeling everything. It felt like a Kundalini experience where it unlocked everything and everything kind of went right back into place. And I have had that happen before, so I recognize what it feels like. Incredible. Thank you. I'm so glad that we stayed and were able to do this activation. I think it was the perfect way to end our day together. And I just want to come over there and just give you the biggest, juiciest hug, both of you. I love how your energy weaves together, and you're this beautiful. It's almost like seeing DNA weave together, seeing the two of you like this and hearing your story. I know in the chat people were talking about, they really appreciated your story. And I've heard a lot about Rhythmia. A lot of people talk about this place in Costa Rica.
Oh yeah, I'm going there in,
Costa Rica.
going in 3 months.
Oh,
are you really?
And I actually, so I was PortalToAscension was one of the distributors of their first documentary. So we have like an agreement with them. And I went there. I was there 3 months before COVID. So when lockdown happened, I was riding a high.
Wow.
What did you go, Neil?
What's that? When did I go?
Yeah,
January 2020.
Oh yeah, we were there November 2019.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is so amazing. And now I want to go with you, Neil.
You should join me.
3 months. Okay.
I'm going right after the PortalToAscension conference. So I wanted to share that that experience right there. I was so present as Michelle was, and I just had the most tangible, real visuals that I've ever had. And I don't normally share light language, and most people don't know that I even have ever done it. But I actually started having light language coming from me, and it comes. I know it's real because it just like comes randomly, and I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? And every time I'm in a float tank, halfway in the float tank, all of a sudden, when I completely relax everything, I open my mouth and all I do is breathe. I go, and then light language comes out. So what happened was I was doing the light language on Stargate 3, and I came into the bedroom because there's so much noise outside, and around the room, tall, white-robed Pleiadians. Visually, I could see them all right here, right? And I started crying. I was like, oh my God. And I just, for like 5 minutes, I was just like, thank you. And then when you said open the gift, I saw this box open up that looked like this metallic ring that was vibrating, and it looked like an actual ring. And then when I came closer to it, I realized it was a massive ring, and it was multiple rings, and it went over my body as a Stargate, multiple rings for transportation. And then when they were leaving, remember one of those old school mail suction things to, like, you put the little thing and then it goes. It was like an etheric suction tube back to the cosmos.
Oh,
Whole thing right
gosh.
there. Yeah.
That wasn't in the plan. They were like going, you got to give them a gift at the end. We're coming into their field, and that was just not planned. Did you notice?
Yeah,
I was like, oh, all right, whatever, go here. So that was cool. Yeah.
So incredible. I looked at, I want to share a healing I experienced. So earlier in the day, I was sharing that I, from Monday forward, my hand started swelling. This hand started really swelling up. And by yesterday, I couldn't use it at all. So I had to go to the doctors because I was like, I was trying everything I knew to get it to work. And after you talked about the gift, and when we came back, I looked down and the swelling is almost all the way down. I can now move my finger. Like before, my hand was stuck like this. I can now move my fingers open. Yeah, I still feel a little bit of it, but it's like my hand is coming back. I didn't expect that to happen. I just, surrendered to whatever this was. So I feel like that was part of my gift, was receiving a physical healing.
Wow.
So thank you. Because I'm sitting here going, I have work to do. But it does make you stop and kind of look around and take stock of things. And your hands represent, how you're helping hands. One of the things I looked at in one of the books that I follow is, the invitation to consider how many people you're helping and then maybe not helping yourself. So that's been going on in my world a lot. So today was just a gift to me personally. And I can't, I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude. And I was crying many times during that activation and your presentation, and the energy that I got of your combined union was really, really profound. So I can't thank you enough. And Neil, thank you. I was a little bit concerned when I said, yes, you're doing this, because I knew that Neil had dinner plans tonight. And I was like, I hope I can make this judgment call by myself, because Neil wasn't saying, yeah, go tell him to do it, So I was just like, okay. And it was perfect.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice way to end the day for everyone after being, learning, and going back in is a beautiful way to end the day.
Well, hopefully we can visit one time. We'd love to, if things ever get a little bit looser with travel requirements, be able to visit.
One of my friends came over, Amarea came over from Australia, and he didn't have any problems. So I don't know. Let's just keep visualizing all the pathways opening so that you can come back over here and visit us.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to.
We'd love to do that. We're feeling called. There's just a couple of little, requirements that are stopping us at the moment. But hopefully they will drop away.
Seriously, I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, I absolutely love you guys so much. Thank you for just your energy, divine grace, and just bringing this and creating and cultivating that connection right at the end of this day. Like, it was really needed. So appreciate you both. And please, just before you head out, please share any other information with everybody, where they can find more about you, what kind of offerings that you have and all that. And I know you guys have 2 different Instagram pages where you always do. Your reels, by the way, are epic. Everything that you post. I love what you create. So go ahead.
Yeah, cool. So we are Awakening Education. So awakening.education on the website. And there's sessions, and you can learn how to go to the ship. We teach that. We're starting the next galactic training in January. We also do multi-dimensional training if you want to go to the gym and learn how to use your supernatural abilities. We're on Instagram under awakening.education as well. And myself and Pete.
We're on TikTok now.
We're on TikTok?
I never thought I'd be on TikTok, but we're on TikTok.
So, yeah.
God, and we love I guess, putting the information out there to people who are new to all of this and they wonder if there's something wrong with them. And I like going, no, you're not normal. And who wants to be normal? You know, like it's exciting to sit there and think, oh, I've been a rebel all my life and I felt like I've always been adopted and I never really feel like this 3D life is for me. And they go, oh, well, love you guys because you're saying all the things that I'm feeling, which is, that's good if you're feeling like that, because that's a representation of who you really are, right? You're a strong, wise soul. And the veil of forgetfulness is thin for you. Probably even left yourself a few little clues, you know, and you see things there and then you go, oh, gosh, this seems familiar, you know. Neil, you have that on the medicine. It's like you see things, you go, oh, I've done this before. Oh my gosh, I know I did. I was like, oh my goodness, this is like crazy. It's like I've done this thing before, and it like gave me like I don't know. It's an amazing perspective. It's like, that's why we couldn't go home and do insurance anymore. It was like, oh, done, you know. It's like, nah.
What a leap. What a fantastic leap to go from doing insurance, taking this trip, bringing your father and your brother. I mean, seriously, that's huge to know that you brought your family there and just had a profound experience that up-leveled not just yourselves, but everyone around you. And now you have this great offering for so many people are going, where do I turn? You know, where do I turn? I'm having these feelings. And I'm just so grateful that we can all, you know, share in this way. And you guys are catalysts for transformation. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
We are the new normal, you know, and it is that this is to be the new normal. I really like feel into that. We are one, and it's like even in the most difficult of people, when you can look at them and realize that they're a part of you and you're a part of them.
Yeah.
Even when they're really a jerk, it's a challenge. You know?
Serious.
You've got to breathe through that and almost laugh at it and smile. But it's so much easier to respond then rather than react, you know, and to live these principles. We read these principles that, you know, are all about love and light. But when you go out there into the real world, sometimes it's quite challenging to actually apply them. And like, we just love helping people to be able to do that, you know, and to see the patterns from there. Often the people who trigger us the most we're related to, you know. It's like, oh my goodness, they're tough.
Truth right there.
Yeah.
What a pivotal day. Pivotal day. Epic.
Thank you guys.
Roxy, thank you guys so much.
Loved it.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you so much.
After 3 years of having to produce the Portal to Ascension conference online, we have been waiting for this moment. The Portal to Ascension conference is returning live and in person. Join us at the Marina Village in San Diego, California, April 21st to 23rd, 2023. As massive shifts are happening on the planet and hidden truths are being uncovered, we are piecing together the fragmented parts of our existence and timeline. At Portal to Ascension, we are dedicated to full circle awareness of the truth of who we are and remembrance of our connection to the cosmos. This is showtime. There is no holding back. Now is the time for us to harmonize the frequencies and create unity and peace on Earth. We are deprogramming from an outdated matrix system, re-educating and remembering an inherent truth that connects us all. As we come together, we activate our truest potentials, individual gifts, and collective resolve. We are ushering a whole new reality that we know is possible and is waiting for us to embrace it. Join founder Neil Gore and the entire Portal to Ascension team with hosts Alan Steinfeld, Michelle Anderson, and Joan of Angels over these 3 days, April 21st to 23rd, 2023. We will experience musical performances by Larissa Stowe and the Shakti Tribe, Vox Angeles, Share the Light, Admiral Apollo, and Torquemji. This conference features incredible luminaries such as JJ and Desiree Hurtak, Adam Apollo, Carolyn Corey, Robert Schock, Linda Moulton Howe, Robert Edward Grant, Barbara Lamb, and many more. Register now at ascensionconference.com. It is time for humanity to awaken.